the Federal Reserve would issue, back, and control CBC, which is only one sort of digital currency that the government would fully support. This might be a different way to pay for things that has benefits, including quick payment settlement, the ability to do business across borders, and more people being able to use it. Over 130 countries have started to look into their own digital currencies that are backed by the government. China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and India have already started pilot programs. A digital euro trial might start as soon as 2028. In the meantime, the U.S. is still far behind as more and more obvious information regarding digital currency comes to light. These words come from the United States Congress. Make it clear, there is no doubt that the U.S. Congress has given XRP the go-ahead in the U.S. This isn't only for banks and other financial institutions. The U.S. Federal Reserve has endorsed the usage of XRP for both domestic and foreign transactions, which is a global endorsement. What does this mean? The U.S. Congress knows about the change throughout the world. Brazil, India, China, and other countries are working with Ripple to set up their own central bank digital currencies on the XRP ledger. The U.S. doesn't want to miss out on this change. And guess which business they're working with? Yes, Ripple. As always, welcome back to Money Side, the best place to find out about XRP. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa have all worked together to create a central bank digital currency that they can all use. The U.S. is going in the same direction. Take a look at this footage that goes into detail about talks between Ripple and the U.S. Federal Reserve about CBDCs as early as 2015. This historical background shows how Ripple and the U.S. have been working together behind the scenes, even if Ripple and the SEC are publicly fighting. This partnership was a clear sign that Ripple would win the SEC litigation. Do you remember when Ripple pitched the FedNAB payment system to the Federal Reserve in 2015? The Fed's official announcement of the system didn't give Ripple any credit, but a closer look shows some signs. The Federal Reserve talked about maybe working with a blockchain startup that could make payments go faster, with transaction durations of only 3 to 5 seconds. Gary Gensler has always talked about how the U.S. Federal Reserve may use Ripple. Before he even started working at the SEC, Gensler had faith in the Federal Reserve. Ripple payment partner that uses the RippleNet system has officially joined the FedNet payment system, which is the same system that the Federal Reserve uses to process payments. Let's take this apart. Riverbank is more than just a bank. It helps people make payments using RippleNet's xCurrent and xRapid platforms. XRP and its ledger are used for on-demand liquidity on each of these platforms. It's clear that xRapid, xCurrent, and RippleNet, all of which are based on XRP, will be included now that Riverbank is part of FedNet. This means that the FedNet payment system is ready to use XRP to meet its liquidity needs when making payments across borders. So, as XRP's usefulness and use cases grow, we may expect its value to rise. This is good news for your XRP investment if you are watching this. This integration of XRP into mainstream banking institutions shows that the cryptocurrency has a lot of potential. This shows how global money is changing. We're seeing a big change as traditional banks realize how fast, cheap, and efficient blockchain technology like Ripple's are. Also, Gary Gensler's support and the actions of institutions like Riverbank after that are just the beginning. As more financial companies learn about XRP and other related technologies and how to use them, the whole sector will feel the effects. Before we go any further, I have some wonderful news for my fans. I'm giving away XRP. It's easy to join. Just follow these 3 steps. Give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, switch on notifications, and share it with your friends. When you reach the 60,000 subscriber milestone, I'll check to see if these procedures have been done. Now let's go back to the subject at hand, the value of XRP and how important it is becoming. We've talked about how the U.S. Federal Reserve is interested in it and how the U.S. as a whole is likely to adopt it. But it's not just the U.S. that sees the promise of XRP. The BRICS nations and the European Union, which is working on a digital euro initiative, are both looking into what it can do. You may see our separate videos on how XRP is being used in Europe's digital euro project, and the BRICS nations CBDC for more information. To make our primary point again, the U.S. isn't just looking at XRP as a possible CBDC, which we've talked about in another video, but they also want to use it to make cross-border transactions faster. This isn't only about CBDCs, it also applies to financial transactions in the U.S. and around the world. Let's look into what this signifies for the future value of XRP. As more and more people use XRP, especially big banks like the U.S. Federal Reserve, its value will change. After all, how useful a cryptocurrency is a big part of what makes it valuable. When you add a digital asset like XRP to a big financial system, it's not just about the short-term benefits it provides to transactions. It's also about the long-term confidence and legitimacy it builds. Digital transactions are becoming more common, and the need for quick, cheap payments across borders is growing. The global financial landscape is changing quickly. The function of cryptocurrencies, especially those that have been shown to be useful like XRP, becomes quite important. Support from big economies and banks might help XRP reach a whole new level. This is a very important period for investors and fans. XRP's current endorsements and connections point to a bright future for the currency. But like with other investments, it's important to be educated, keep an eye on what's going on, and make judgments based on comprehensive research. Could XRP really go up to $10,000? This is a question that a lot of people in the crypto world have been asking, and we'll talk about it soon. It's interesting to observe that more and more global companies, especially those from North America, are interested in the XRP ledger. As the world of cryptocurrencies grows, with digital currencies now available in more than 130 countries, XRP is often mentioned as a leader. So how much may XRP be worth? Prices might be anything from $10,000 to a shocking $35,000, especially since it could be used in global CBDC central bank digital currency activities.